ninyo will be the monosaccharides. So you have your sugar glucose, galactose, fructose, and then for the disaccharides, so you use lactose and maltose. And then for the polysaccharide, ang ginamit nyo will be starch. No? So you have a total of 6 samples. You have three monosaccharides. So sa monosaccharide, ang sample ninyo is an aldose and a ketose. So ano yung mga aldose? So those with an aldehyde functional group. So you have your glucose and galactose. And then fructose is a ketose kasi ang functional group niya will be a ketone. Okay, and then for your disaccharide, ginamit nyo is lactose, maltose, and sucrose. Okay, and then we classify your disaccharides as reducing sugar and non-reducing sugar. So ano yung mga reducing sugars? Okay, those lactose and maltose, and we have the sucrose as the non-reducing sugar. So I know you have learned from the lecture dahil walang part na ma-oxidize si sucrose dahil yung kanyang anomeric carbons are both used in the formation of glycosidic bond. So walang siyang site for the oxidation to occur, kaya siya ay non-reducing sugar. Whereas yung dalawa, yung lactose at maltose, isa lang ang anomeric carbon na involved sa formation ng glycosidic bond niya. Kaya yung isang anomeric carbon will be the site for the oxidation. Kaya may result, no? So it can be oxidized, kaya may result siya with Fellings and the rest of the reactions with mild oxidizing agents. Okay, so that the number one test that you did is the Molish test. So this is the general test for carbohydrates. So kung general test siya for carbohydrates, whether it is a monosaccharide, a disaccharide, or a polysaccharide, dahil carbohydrates sila, then the positive result is the formation of the purple ring. So take note that the composition of your Molish test is alpha-naphthol in ethyl alcohol with concentrated sulfuric acid. So yung precaution nyo dito, whenever you're adding sulfuric acid, you're adding sulfuric acid on the side of your test tube, yung medyo naka-incline yung test tube, and then add to the side, and then allow the sulfuric acid to come in contact with the sugar and alpha-naphthol. And if there will be formation of a purple ring, then that will be positive for the Molish. Okay, so ito yung purple ring. Dapat ganito liwanag na meron talagang ring na na-form between the junction of two layers. Okay, now, a pentose or a hexose. Ano ba example ng pentose sugar? Can you give an example of a pentose sugar, Mr. Abisamis? Mr. Abisamis, can you give me an example of a pentose sugar? Hello? Mr. Abisamis?
Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Oo. Can you give an example of a pentose?
Ribose po.
Okay, ribose. So when ribose is made to react with Molish, okay, so magpo-form siya ng furfural, with sulfuric acid. Tapos yung alpha-naphthol with furfural will form the violet ring. Kaya yung mga intermediate ninyo after adding sulfuric acid is nagpo-form kayo ng furfural. So kung hexose naman, so whether this is an aldose or a ketose, so kung glucose or fructose yan, the same din yung reaction niya with sulfuric, that is the removal of 3 molecules of water, and you form your 5-hydroxymethyl furfural. So pareho lang na may furfural, and then upon the addition of alpha-naphthol, then there will be formation of a violet ring. Okay, so this will be for the Molish test. Okay, so yung number 2, hindi natin ginawa to kasi yung phenylhydrazine is toxic, medyo toxic to. Pero this is also a test for reducing sugar. Okay, so identify reducing sugar based on their microscopic appearance. And what is the composition? So that is phenylhydrazine with sodium acetate. OAC is acetate. Pero hindi yan yung correct formula niya. Ang correct formula ng sodium acetate ay CH3COONA. Diba? CH3COONA. So this is just a representation para hindi na isulat yung CH3COO because acetic acid is CH3COOH. So when hydrogen is substituted by sodium, so naging sodium acetate siya. So this will be the formation. So any reducing sugar when heated with phenylhydrazine will give a characteristic crystalline yellow colored osazone. So you are going to form different crystals. So wherein you can see that under the microscope. So yung glucose is needle shape, yung maltose will be sunflower shape, and then powder puff will be for the lactose. So they're going to have the same reaction, no? Sugar with phenylhydrazine produces your osazone. So depende kung glucose yan, edi glucosazone. Okay, kung maltose yun, maltosazone. Okay, so that will be the reaction. So kung sugar mo is glucose, then the osazone that you produce is glucosazone. Okay, so ito yung mga itsura niya when you view this under the microscope, no? So yung disaccharides like sunflowers, lactose, ito, and then monosaccharide will be your needle shape, like glucose. So ganito ang itsura niya under the microscope. Okay, so still your osazone formation. So this is glucose, lactose, and then this will be your maltose. Kaya parang sunflower. Okay, Siliwanoops test. So this is a test for ketose. So ang ketose sugar natin is fructose. Now sucrose is positive to Siliwanoops. It's because sucrose is composed of glucose and fructose. So yung magre-respond kay Siliwanoops is also the fructose in your sucrose. Pero you observe, no, in your experiment na mas magbilis mag-redden yung fructose as compared to sucrose. Am I correct, Kyla? Nauuna ang fructose na mag-red kaysa sa
Yes,
sucrose?
ma'am. Mabilis po mag-red yung fructose.
Yes, because the positive result for your Siliwanoops will be red color plus brown precipitate. I don't know kung nakikita nyo yung brown precipitate. What I see in your test tube is yung you are describing it as a cherry red, no? Pero it's a red color. So ito. So what is the reaction involved? So again, you are adding HCl because the composition of your Siliwanoops is HCl. So pag nanonotice ninyo, even with the first experiment, yung sa alpha-naphthol, may sulfuric acid din. Yung sulfuric is nagre-remove siya ng water, no, from your sugar. Okay? Nagre-remove ng water, so dehydrating agent siya, no? Because it removes water. Pagdating mo kay HCl, nagtatanggal din siya ng tubig, no, from the sugar. So HCl in this the role of HCl in your Siliwanoops test, no, is also to remove water. So pag na-remove yung water, you notice again that you are forming a furfural derivative, just like your molish. Diba? So may furfural ka, and then you added your resorcinol. So your resorcinol is, how do you name the resorcinol? This is the common name. So this is 1, 2, 3. So this is 1, 3 dihydroxybenzene. Kasi 1, 2, 3. So 1, 3 dihydroxy, and this is a benzene ring. Okay, that is the IUPAC name for your resorcinol. Okay, I hope you are taking down notes. Okay, so because your formula for resorcinol is 1, 3 dihydroxybenzene. So after you produce the furfural, resorcinol reacts with furfural, and there will be a condensation product, no, which results into the formation of a red color. So again, both your fructose and sucrose is positive to Siliwanoops. Okay. So next is Bial's test. Okay, this is a test for pentose. So if you want to differentiate your pentose sugar from a hexose sugar, you can use Bial's. Kaya lang talagang hindi nagpapasilip ang BIOS test. Pero theoretically, this could differentiate your pentose from a hexose sugar. So, as mentioned by Mr. Abisamis, ang isang example ng pentose is a ribose. So, it form a furfural in acidic medium which condensed with orsinol in the presence of ferric ion to give a blue-green colored complex. Now, what's the composition of your BIOS reagent? It is made up of ferric acid, a hydrochloric acid, and orsinol. Pero actually, sa mga ibang books, it is simply orsinol plus HCl lang siya. No? Pero kailangan kasing makondense siya in the presence of your ferric ion. So that will come from your ferric acid. So this is the equation involved. So again, your ribose, okay, with your concentrated HCl, there will be removal of water to form your furfural. So ilan na ang nag-form ng furfural? From Molish, Siliwanov, and then you have the bials, no? By the action of acid, removing water. And then this will react with orsinol. Ano ang magiging name ni orsinol? How do you name the ayupak? Paano ang ayupak name natin dito? What do you think will be the ayupak name of this structure? Miss Bailon. Sa tingin mo, how do you name this?
5-methylbenzene.
Ano?
5-methylbenzene.
5-methylbenzene? Paano tong mga OH na to? How do you name?
5-methyl-resorcinol.
Ang resorcinol is 1,3. Are you sure? Anybody? Anyone? How do you name orsinol? What is its ayupak name? Miss Alonzo.
Hindi ko rin po sure.
Bakit kapag ang bilis yung mag-google, ngayon ayaw yung mag-google man lang para ma-check ninyo kung ano yung, para malaman ninyo. Anyone from the class? What is the ayupak name of orsinol? Yes, name?
Doctor po.
Miss Doctor, what is the ayupak name of orsinol?
Ano po? 5-methylbenzene 1,3-diol po.
Okay, again, 5,
5,3-methylbenzene
5.
1,3.
Teka muna, isa-isa lang. 5, 5, tingnan natin kung tama.
Methylbenzene.
Ulit-ulit, 5,
5-methylbenzene 1,3
1, 3,
diol po.
diol. Bakit diol? Kasi dalawang alcohol. Okay? So, kasi between methyl and OH, mas priority natin ang OH eh. Mas electronegative to. Kaya 1, 3. Nakita nyo to? 1, 2, 3. 1, 3. Okay, diol. Okay, and this one, ito 5-methyl. Kasi kung 1,3 mo yan, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, 5-methyl. Kaya sabi niya, 5-methyl benzene and then 1,3-diol. Okay, is there other name? Is there other name for your orsinol aside from this 5-methyl benzene 1,3-diol? May nahanap pa bang ibang name? Okay? Because that you should know, no, the ayupak name of orsinol. Which is true na talagang 1,3 siya. Okay? So, the positive result is a blue-green condensation product. Okay. So, looking at the test tube for BIOS test, so this will be negative. So, blue-green will be positive. Okay? That will be positive for BIOS. Okay, so trivia lang. How do normal people see messenger? Yan. Pero if you're a science student, no, chemistry student, nare-relate mo siya sa chair conformation ng sugar. Nag-chair conformation kayo sa lecture, di ba? Hello? Nag-chair confirmation kayo ng mga structure ng glucose and the rest? Hello, nag-chair confirmation kayo? Nagsulat kayo ng ganito na formula ng sugar? Ba't tayo sumagot?
Yes, ma'am, nag-drawing po kami ng structures.
So you draw using the chair confirmation. Okay, next. Test for reducing sugar. So very specific tayo. From your samples, ano ang mga reducing sugar natin? From your samples, what are the reducing sugars? Can you tell me? Is glucose a reducing sugar? Yes or no?
No po.
Bakit hindi reducing sugar ang glucose? So, nag-iingay na yung mga aso. May delivery tiyak to. Okay. So,
Yes po.
is
Yes,
glucose a reducing sugar? Yes. Is galactose a reducing sugar? Is galactose a reducing sugar?
Yes po.
Po.
Okay. Is fructose a reducing sugar?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is maltose a reducing sugar?
Po. Yes,
No.
ma'am.
Okay. Is lactose a reducing sugar?
Yes po.
Is sucrose a reducing sugar?
No po.
No.
ma'am.
Okay. So is that clear from your samples, ha? Di natin i-include si starch. Excuse me for a while. Meron na ngang delivery. Kanino ho? Okay. So be sure you know the classification na kung ano yung mga reducing kasi this will be the test for reducing sugar. So you would expect no that it will respond or will not respond to the particular test. So number 1 is picric acid test. Hindi natin to ginawa. Pero okay, it is also a test no for reducing sugar. So it's a very sensitive chemical test for the presence of reducing sugar. So the reducing sugars react with picric acid. So ang formula ng picric acid ay the other name is 2,4,6-trinitrophenol. Remember, gumamit kayo ng picric acid sa denaturation ng protein, no? When you work on the protein analysis. Okay, so I will show the structure of your picric acid on the next slide. So it forms a red-colored picramic acid. So all monosaccharides and disaccharides containing free aldehyde or ketone group possess the reducing properties. Okay? So let us look at the reaction. Okay, so this is your picric acid. So ano yung name ulit ng picric acid? 2,4,6-trinitrophenol. Pag wala yung mga NO2, a benzene ring with an OH is phenol. Now, phenol is number 1. Kaya 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kaya 2, 4, 6. Okay, 2, 4, 6 trinitro and then phenol. So that will be the IUPAC name of your picric acid. So if you have any reducing sugar except for sucrose, sucrose is non-reducing, you form a mahogany red color and you are forming the picramic acid. Okay? So that will be for picric. Now next is Benedict's test. So this is also a test for reducing sugar. All mono and disaccharides are positive to Benedict's except for sucrose. Now the question is, what is the color of copper sulfate? What is the color of copper sulfate? Color. What is the color of copper sulfate solution? Pag kumukuha kayo ng copper sulfate, hindi nyo ba tinitingnan yung kulay niya? What is the color? Hello? Anong
Blue po.
color? It would be blue. Okay? And then, if you notice, sodium carbonate and sodium citrate. Kaya ang Benedict's solution is done in a slightly basic medium. Kasi itong mga sodium carbonate and sodium citrate will exert the slight basicity in your mixture. Okay? Kaya kapag nireact mo siya sa mga reducing sugars, it produces the brick red precipitate. So the brick red precipitate is your cuprous oxide. So your oxidation number in copper sulfate is +2. Tapos dito naman sa copper is +1. So from copper +2 to copper +1, na-reduce siya. Sino ang nag-reduce? It would be the sugar. So sugar will be the reducing agent and Benedict's reagent will be the mild oxidizing agent. Okay? So anong reaction ang involved dito? Oxidation reduction. So again, ano ang role ng Benedict's reagent in the reaction? What is the role? Miss Cortel? Ano ang role ng Benedict's reagents when reacting it with your mono and disaccharide sugars? Ano ang role ng Benedict's reagents? Miss Cortel? Oxidizing agent. Oxidizing agent. Ano naman ang role ng mga sugar? Like glucose, maltose, ano ang role nila? When you react, pag nagre-react sila, pag pinagsama mo sa isang test tube, ano ang role ng mga sugar?
Reducing agent po.
Okay, reducing agent. So, anong ginawa ng sugar? Ni-reduce niya yung copper na blue +2 into copper +1, which is brick red. Ano naman ang ginawa ni Benedict's? Inoxidize naman niya si reducing sugar. So, kung ang sugar mo ay merong aldehyde, CHO in the anomeric carbon, this could be oxidized into an acid. CHO can be oxidized into a COOH. You learned that in organic chemistry, di ba? A primary alcohol can be oxidized into an aldehyde, and an aldehyde can be further oxidized into an acid. So since these are sugar with an aldehyde group, then they can be oxidized into an acid. Okay, nakita nyo naman yung reactions I think in the lecture, na-mention naman ni Sir Salatan na pag na-oxidize yung sugar, pwede siyang mag-produce ng mga onic acid, kaya gluconic o glucouronic acid, and then you have glucaric. So, yung mga ending niya, aric acid, onic acid, uronic acid. Yan yung mga products ng na-oxidize ang mga sugar. They would end in an acid, onic acid, uronic acid, aric acid. Okay? So, be sure So, the sugars will act as reducing agent, reducing your copper sulfate to cuprous oxide, giving you a brick red precipitate. So, yan yung nakikita ninyo. Now, actually, ang Benedict's test is a sensitive test for the presence of sugar in the urine. Okay? Kaya kung ang mga nursing students, siguro during our time, nung nursing student din ako, pag pumupunta kami sa community, may dala-dala kaming Benedict's reagent. Tapos hihingi ng sample ng mga ihi ng buntis. Tapos tine-check namin yung urine nila, kung merong presence ng sugar. Now, the change in the color of the Benedict's solution will depend on the amount of sugar. However, basta nag-change na yung blue solution into green, that will be positive already. And what is the indication kung green lang ang napoproduce mo after heating that for some time? So, it means that it has only traces of reducing sugar. Pero kung ito ay nag-change into orange, moderate yung amount ng sugar. And if you form a brick red precipitate, that would mean large amount of reducing sugar. Okay? So, ang sinasabi ko, basta nag-change yung blue into this color, these are already positive for sugar. Okay? Green, mas konti yung sugar as compared to a brick red. Okay? So, this is the equation involved. Okay? So, this is the formation of a brick red. So, another one is Barfoed's test. So, this is naman to distinguish your monosaccharide from disaccharides. So, all of them are reducing sugar. So, ano yung composition ng barfoids? So, you have copper acetate. Now, class, be sure you're not writing OAC also in the exam kapag tatanungin kayo kung ano yung formula ng acetate. You don't write it that way. So, paano natin i-write correctly ang acetic acid at saka dalian? Oh, do you see my screen? Nakikita yung screen?
Yes po.
Okay. So, ang acetic acid is always written, nakikita nyo nakalagay HOAC. Representation lang yan. The correct formula is CH3COOH. No? That will be acetic acid. So, pag sinabi namang, yan, so the correct formula of your copper acetate, kung cupric acetate ang sasabihin ko, then it would be Cu CH3 COO2 kung cupric acetate. Okay, kasi yung cupric is copper is plus 2. Pero kung sinulat mo lang natin ay CH3 COOO and then copper, then this is cuprous acetate. Kasi kung cuprous acetate to, then your copper here is plus 1. Okay, because your copper can be in the form of plus 1 or plus 2. Okay, kaya pag nakikita nyo acetate, hindi yan yung formula, representation lang ng acetate yan. So this is how you write correctly the formula, no, with an acetate. Okay. So how did you distinguish your monosaccharide from disaccharide using Barfoed's test? What is the factor? Miss Angelia, paano ma-differentiate ang mono from di using Barfoed's test? Miss Angelia? Miss Angelia?
Hello po, ma'am.
How will you differentiate your mono from di using Barfoed's? If all of your sugar will give a brick red precipitate. So how will you differentiate one from the other? The mono from the using Barfoed's? What will be your reference or what will be the factor? Anybody? Yes?
Ma'am, based po sa naalala ko, sa time po, kapag nag-precipitate po ng 3 to 5 minutes monosaccharide po, tapos pag
Mhm.
nag-precipitate pa po siya habang lumilipas yung oras, disaccharide na po siya.
Okay. So who's talking? Miss? Sino yung
Doctor
nag-recite?
po.
Okay, Miss Doctor. That's correct, no? For you to differentiate your mono from di, time ang factor nyo. So if it will precipitate within 3 to 5 minutes, then it is a monosaccharide. So when it will precipitate longer, then it would be a disaccharide. Remember, pareho lang yung result na brick red. Kaya nagkakaiba lang sila dun sa time. Okay? So, maglagay tayo nung time para pagka tinanong kayo sa exam, you know yung basis ninyo. Okay? So, reducing monosaccharide will show a positive result for Barfoed. So, the reaction involved, reducing monosaccharides are oxidized by copper ion in solution to form a carboxylic acid and a reddish precipitate of cuprous oxide within 3 minutes. Actually, nagbigay lang ako ng 3 to 5. Yun din yung ano namin even before, no? Tapos yung 6 to 12 minutes will be for your disaccharides. So, ang gawin natin, 3 to 5 mono. Pag nag-precipitate siya within 3 to 5 minutes, then that will be monosaccharide. Tapos longer, like 6 to 12 minutes, then that would be your disaccharide. So this is the reaction involved. Still, you will be forming your cuprous oxide, which is a brick red precipitate. Okay? Yan. So ito yung Barfoed's, no? To distinguish your mono from di. Okay, next is the Music acid test. This is a test for galactose and lactose. Now, question, what is the composition of lactose? What is the composition of lactose? This is a disaccharide, so it is composed of 2 monosaccharide units. So, what are the 2 monosaccharide units present in your lactose? Yes? Sige. Name? Pakisabi pag nagre-recite, points din yan.
Miss Banal po, ano po, yung lactose po, composed po siya ng glucose tsaka galactose.
Mhm. So, glucose and galactose. So, if you notice, parehong dun sa una, music is a test for galactose. So, meaning to say, ang music acid test is really specific for galactose. Kasi lactose will also contain galactose. Diba? And for you to, actually, this is oxidation reaction. So, it's an oxidation reaction wherein your galactose, no, will be oxidized by concentrated nitric acid. It's a concentrated nitric acid to form your galactaric acid kasi ang sugar ay galactose, no? So if it will be oxidized by nitric, then it forms the galactaric acid, and galactaric acid is known also as music acid. So, if you oxidize your galactose, anong carbon atoms ang na-oxidize? What carbon atoms are oxidized? What carbon atoms are oxidized? You look at your galactose. Tingnan nyo kung ano yung nabago. That is the carbon that was oxidized. So, which carbon are oxidized in your galactose? What carbon? So, if I will number this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, which carbon atoms are oxidized to form your oxidized product called music acid or galactaric acid? Hello?
Carbon 6 po ba?
Carbon 6 lang? Carbon 6 lang ba? Sino yung
One.
nagsalita? Who
Doctor
answered?
po.
Oh, Miss Doctor. So, carbon 1 and carbon 6. Ayan, oh. Carbon 1, aldehyde is oxidized into an acid. Carbon 2, an alcohol is oxidized into an acid. Because nitric is a strong oxidizing agent. Kaya yung alcohol na OH can be strongly oxidized into an acid. Hindi na siya dadaan sa aldehyde, diretso na siya sa acid. Nakita nyo ba? Yan. Kapag kadalawa ang na-oxidize carbons 1 and 6, arik siya, arik acid. Kaya kung glucose siya, glucaric acid. Kung galactose siya, galactaric acid. Okay? Oh. Kapag ka naman ang na-oxidize ng ay carbon 1, let's say ng glucose, ito lang na-oxidize by mild oxidizing agent, like yung mga phelings, ang mapoproduce ninyo is onic acid, kaya gluconic acid, mannonic acid. Kapag naman gumamit ka ng moderate oxidation, okay, like yung mga oxidation inside the body, catalyzed by the enzyme, ang na-oxidize naman is the carbon number 6. So, ang mapoproduce mo na acid is uronic. Kaya kung glucose yan, glucuronic acid. Okay? So, yun yung mga oxidation, no, reactions of your sugar. If carbon 1 is oxidized, it forms your onic acid. Kapag na-oxidize ang carbon 6 moderately, then it would be uronic acid. Kapag na-oxidize ang 1 and 6, then you are forming an aric acid. Kaya galactose is galactaric acid or otherwise known as music. Nung sinilip naman ni Mr. Bautista, I think siya yung nag-focus, no, ng result, nag-focus kayo. So this is how nakita mo, Mr. yung medyo yung ilang piraso na ganito. Okay, pero kung yung hindi masyadong detalye, it will appear as parang needle-like siya. Pero kung yaan mo siguro sa high power, so ganito yung nakikita niya talaga. No? This would be the mga rod-like crystals that you will see. So it's a rod-like crystals. Okay? Pero sa test tube ninyo, mag-appear lang siya ng mga fine white crystals. Okay, number 5 will be Tollens test, so also known as a silver mirror test. So this is a qualitative lab test used to distinguish between an aldehyde and a ketone. Okay, but Tollens is also a test for reducing sugar. And your Tollens is composed of silver nitrate and ammonia. So what is the water solution of ammonia? What is the water solution of ammonia? Anybody? Ano ang water solution ng ammonia? Kasi gusto ko to, alam nyo na kasi, minsan paulit-ulit lang naman. So even sa clinical chem nyo sa third year, you will be using different reagents. Mami, naghahanap kayo ng ammonia, meron naman dun. Sasabihin ng teacher ninyo, di ba sinabi ng biochem ninyo sa second year? That ammonia's water solution is ammonium hydroxide. Okay? So, pag may nakita kayo na ammonia, teka. Ammonia, this is ammonia. Tapos wala kayong nakitang ammonia na ganitong formula, pero may nakita kayong NH4OH. Okay? So this is ammonium hydroxide. And this is the water solution of your ammonia. So pag nilagyan mo ng tubig yung ammonia, ammonium hydroxide siya, kaya pareho lang yan. So kung ano yung available, if you're asked to use NH4OH at may nakita kay ammonia, pwede niyong gamitin. If you are asked to use NH4OH and or the other way around, so it's the same. Just take note that NH4OH is the water solution of ammonia. Okay? And then, the positive result is a silver mirror. Yan. So, this is the reaction involved. So, yung silver nitrate with ammonia, ito na siya. And then, it reacts with the sugar. Reducing sugar, the positive result is a silver mirror. So, elemental na silver. So, Ag0. Ibig sabihin ng Ag0, so it is an element which is the silver mirror, no, that you see in your test tube. Okay, so this is the positive result. Okay, so ang nangyari din, si sugar, re-reduce niya yung silver, okay, plus 1 to silver 0. Just to make it clear. So, ang silver nitrate, okay, is positive 1. Pagka nag-silver mirror na siya, okay, this is already silver 0. Kaya from plus 1 to 0, na-reduce, no? So, ni-reduce siya ng sugar. Ito naman, i-oxidize niya yung sugar into an acid. Okay, so again, it's a reduction oxidation. So, that will be for Tollens. Okay. Next is your Fellings test. So, just like Benedict's, this is also test for reducing sugar. So, make sure you know that Fellings A is copper sulfate and Fellings B is sodium hydroxide plus Rochelle salt. So, what is Rochelle salt? This is potassium tartrate. So, yung iba nakakalimutan na magdagdag ng B. Tapos sasabihin, ma'am, wala akong result. Dapat magkasama yung A and B. Okay, so the Fellings reagent is composed of A and B. A is cupric sulfate, and B is sodium hydroxide, and the Rochelle salt or potassium tartrate. So, since copper sulfate is blue, at kung reducing sugar siya, so dapat ang positive is a brick red. Yan. Okay? So, whenever there's a change in the blue color of copper, so positive siya. So, ang reaction the same din, no, na ang positive result is the formation of brick red precipitate, which is your cuprous oxide, the formation of cuprous oxide. Okay, hydrolysis of disaccharide. So, you added 2 2 drops of HCl to your sucrose, and then you heated that for 3 minutes. And then, para ma-check lang kung talagang completely na-hydrolyze na si sucrose, chine-check mo yung with sodium hydroxide, and you're making sure that the solution is neutral. Okay? Kaya ititest mo siya with a litmus paper. So, ito pa ulit-ulit ko na rin sinasabi sa inyo na, no, just to remind you again, sa hydrolysis ng starch, okay, so hydrolysis of starch. So, una ulit, review lang. Alam ko namang inuulit-ulit ko na sa inyo. Hydrolysis is the breaking of glycosidic bond. So, you break the glycosidic bond. Okay, wherein glycosidic bond. Okay, wherein water is the attacking species. Okay. So, if this is your sucrose, and sucrose is made up of glucose linked to fructose. Yan. So, the glycosidic bond, if you remember what is the glycosidic bond between glucose and fructose, di ba alpha beta 1, 2 glycosidic bond. Yan yung glycosidic bond mo. Ito yung aatakihin ng tubig. Okay? Hydrolysis. Pero yung experiment ninyo, acid hydrolysis. Kasi hydrolysis can be enzymatic with water. It can be acid hydrolysis. So, in your case, ang ginamit ninyo dito ay HCl. Okay, yan, HCl. And then you heated for 3 minutes. So, after that, kung maha-hydrolyze yan, this will separate into glucose plus fructose. Kaya before hydrolysis, sucrose plus phelings, negative to. No, you cannot form a brick red kasi sucrose is non-reducing. Pero after hydrolysis, no, after 3 minutes after heating, naghiwalay na si glucose at fructose. Pag nilagyan mo na siya ng phelings, A and B, okay, this will result into a brick red precipitate. No? Bakit siya nag-brick red precipitate na? Kasi, hindi na siya sucrose. It was already hydrolyzed into glucose and fructose. And glucose and fructose are already your reducing sugar. Kaya, nag-give na siya ng brick red precipitate with phelings A and B. So, is this understood? Is this understood? Hello?
Yes po.
Yes po.
Yan na. And then, hydrolysis of starch. Okay, and this is the test for polysaccharide. The composition is iodine and Ki. So, you call it as a Lugol's reagent. So, the positive result with starch and iodine, it can turn into purple or somewhat black. If there is no starch, the iodine stays red. Pero bakit yellow to? Diba? Kasi ang iodine parang reddish-brown ang color niyan eh. No? Parang betadine, diba? Reddish-brown siya. So, kung walang reaction with with the starch, then it remains its color. Pero kung merong starch, magkakaroon ng blue color. Alam nyo yung component ng starch na amylose at amylopectin? It is the amylose part, no, na nagpo-form siya ng helical. Doon pumapasok yung iodine solution and giving this color, yung purple color. Okay, so what is hydrolysis of starch? Teka, ba't wala? Ito yun, yung ginawa nyo sa spot plate. Yan. Okay, so, ang hydrolysis ng starch, you added starch and add HCl. By the way, what is the role of HCl? So, this is your hydrolyzing agent, no? So, this is the agent that will break your glycosidic bonds. Okay, and then you boil in water. Tapos, hindi every 3 minutes, kundi every 5-minute interval, you get starch solution, and then you add a drop of that to the depression plate with iodine. And if you notice, no, you started with deep blue. Okay? Kasi starch pa din yun. Pero after a while, na hinihit nyo siya, na medyo na-break na yung ibang glycosidic bonds niya, so it will be a shorter chain of polysaccharide na. So it could become amylodextrin plus iodine. So kung yung una mo ay deep blue, nagiging purple na siya. And then, no, upon heating after 5 minutes interval, dadating ka din sa point na yung iod ay nagiging reddish ang color niya. So you form an erythrodextrin. So these are the hydrolysis products of starch, no? From starch to amylodextrin to erythrodextrin. Tapos after niyan, nag-colorless ka na, halos colorless ka na dito, yan yung achromatic point. So this is the point when iodine does not give color with starch anymore. And it is already telling us na nagpo-produce ka na ng disaccharide na maltose. Okay? So the starch produces the disaccharide maltose until the final product of hydrolysis is your alpha-D-glucose. So bakit ko sinasabang alpha-D-glucose? Kasi ang cellulose will also hydrolyze into a glucose. Pero si cellulose, ang final hydrolysis product niya ay beta-D-glucose. Okay? Whereas starch, ang final product ng hydrolysis niya is alpha-D-glucose. Magkaiba sila ng anomeric form. The starch is alpha-D-glucose, whereas cellulose is beta-D-glucose. Okay? So that would be the difference. Tapos before your beta-D-glucose sa cellulose, ang disaccharide niya is cellobiose. Whereas for your starch, it would be maltose. Okay? So yan yung nangyari, no, dun sa inyong hydrolysis of starch. So syempre may HCl, so nabi-break yung kanyang mga glycosidic bonds. So the glycosidic bonds are broken, so yung polysaccharide nagiging shorter siya until eventually nagmaltose ka hanggang nag-glucose. So when do you know if you are already producing maltose? If you reach the achromatic point, no? When iodine does not give color anymore with starch. Okay, and then another additional test, ay hindi pa, yung remaining portion, di ba tinest nyo din siya with Benedict's or Fellings, and you found out that it also resulted into the formation of a brick red. Naturally, kasi whether it is maltose or glucose, these are all positive for Fellings or Benedict's. Kasi mga reducing sugar naman ito. Okay, additional test. Okay, it will be fermentation of sugar by yeast. So, lahat ay nagpe-ferment, no? Except for your lactose. Kasi sabi nila, lactose is non-fermentable. And then, this is also an advantage of a human breast milk. Kasi ang human breast milk contains the lactose, no, as the sugar. So, hindi siya madaling mag-ferment. Ano ba kasi ang mangyayari sa sugar kung nagpe-ferment? Nagpo-produce ng carbon dioxide gas. Ito yung isang product ng fermentation, no? The formation of carbon dioxide gas. So kung yung baby ay umiinom ng gatas na yung sugar niya ay madaling mag-ferment, so pwedeng magkabag siya kasi this is air. Kaya nga binabirth ang mga baby kapag pinaiinom ng gatas para hindi mag-accumulate yung gas sa stomach nila. Otherwise, no, that will be a discomfort. Iyak ng iyak yung baby. Okay? And how will the sugars undergo fermentation? So, ito, yung mga gumawa ng wine, ganito ang nangyari. No, you have the fruit extract, you added sugar and water, and then you added yeast. The yeast contains two enzymes, invertase and zymase. So, it is the invertase that will convert your disaccharide into glucose and fructose. Kaya tawag sa kanila invert sugar. And then the glucose or fructose will be further catalyzed by your zymase into ethanol and carbon dioxide. So in the fermentation process in the winemaking, yung bottle ng wine ninyo, hindi nyo sinasara yan for 2 weeks. Cotton lang ang nakalagay dun sa mouth niya. Kasi we have to release the carbon dioxide gas. Pag hindi mo na-release yung carbon dioxide gas, magpo-promote ang formation ng isang enzyme called acetobacter, and that will be responsible for the conversion of your product into an acetic acid. So, fate din ng fermentation in the body yan kung nasa metabolism na kayo. Okay, but with fermentation, the two most important products will be your ethanol and carbon dioxide. And carbon dioxide should be released, no, from your bottle when you are preparing the wine. Kasi maiiba yung product kapag ito ay hindi mo na-release. So, of course, you know that ethanol is the alcohol present in alcoholic beverages. Whether it is beer, wine, mga gin, the alcohol is always ethanol. You don't drink rubbing alcohol. No, you don't drink butanol. So what you drink is ethanol. Okay? Not even methanol, because methanol is a poison. Poison yung methanol. Kaya ito yung edible na alcohol. Question? May question ba?
None po.
None. Okay? Oh, we're done. We're done with carbohydrates. May na-miss ba ako sa ginawa ninyong experiment? Meron bang na-miss? Miss
Wala
Doctor?
po.
Wala. So, we're done.
Ma'am, isisend niyo po yung PowerPoint sa amin po. Ano?
Oh, syempre.
Okay po. Thank you po.
I will send it later. Kasi nahanap ko yung